Kawartha.
Christmas is just over a month away, and while most Canadians should be wishing and shopping for presents, they're not. They're wishing that they can afford to pay their bills. They're wishing that they won't have to rely on a food bank to feed their family. Mr. Speaker, this is Canada, and we can do so much better. People are struggling to feed their families. I ask the Liberals today, will they cancel their planned tax hikes on home heating, gas, and groceries?
The Minister for Families.
On this side of the House for the past 7 years, we have demonstrated compassion and responsibility. We have been there for Canadians and Canadian families, whether it's through the Canada Child Benefit, whether it's through childcare, whether it's through Canada the Dental Plan or housing. What we have not done, Mr. Speaker, is provide completely irresponsible financial advice that would leave Canadian families devastated. If that member and those members opposite care, I hope they apologize to Canadians for the reckless advice their leader offered in terms of investing in crypto, because they would have seen their savings completely eviscerated. That is disappointing, and they should apologize. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That's right. The Honourable Member for Peterborough Kawartha.
Mr. Speaker, the Liberals need to apologize for Canadians because they have the highest use of food banks in history. 1 in 3 of those are Canadian. We have fallen from 10th to 30th place in child well-being. That you should be ashamed of. That is disgusting. So I will ask again, Mr. Speaker, when Canadians have to heat their home and spend $7,000, this isn't a luxury, this is a necessity. Will they do the right, responsible, and leadership thing? Just show compassion, acknowledge the crisis that we are in. I know they must be receiving the same emails. Cancel the planned tax hikes.
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, 2 million Canadians, including 450,000 children, less in poverty under this government than when the Conservatives were in power, Mr. Speaker. When they had the opportunity to actually vote on measures that would help Canadian families, like the Canada Dental Benefit, like the Canadian Housing Benefit, like childcare for families from coast to coast to coast, or perhaps, Mr. Speaker, we can talk about the Canada Workers Benefit. Mr. Speaker, these are all things that the Conservatives voted against. They talk a good game, but when it comes to actually supporting Canadians, they're nowhere to be found.
Hear, hear. That's right.
The Honourable Member for Lévis-Lotbinière. Mr. Speaker, before us, unfortunately, stands a government that spends without limit and without counting. In the press, we learned that the government bought twice as many medical ventilators as needed for the health of Canadians. That's $403 million for nothing. What's more, the government can't even find a way to sell them or give them back. What's wrong with this situation, Mr. Speaker? Are there any real managers in the government to ring the bell of Liberal incompetence? The Honourable Minister of Health. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would say that competency and responsibility of a government is to ensure the health and safety of its citizens. That's the first responsibility of any government, particularly in a period of crisis. Like we saw in the beginning of 2020, we invested where we had to because we knew that people were going through tough times, and we had to protect their ability to pay the necessary services and also protect their health in case they fell ill.